Okay, this video is about food for thought, thinking on what you're going to eat, how you're going to eat. It's not necessarily calories. It's not necessarily what types of food. It's not necessarily the diet you follow, but thinking about what your food's going to be about. Primarily in the high desert, in the desert areas, because you don't feel hungry. You have to eat throughout the day. You have to keep the nutrition going in without really counting calories. It's not about the type of diet you have. Everybody has their own diet, what works for them. This is not a video on changing any of that. It's a video to remind you that there's other ways to do things to where you don't have to always go freeze-dried. You don't have to always have a Snickers, M&M's, peanut butter, or a little Gold energy drinks. You don't have to do all that. You can combine them all. The best mix I've found is a good mix of all of these. Dehydrated food in hot desert areas, you got to carry your water. So there's options. This is what this video is for, to think of options. There's not just one way. In the desert, you lose your appetite. You don't want to eat. You don't feel like eating any kind of large amounts of food. It's best, in reality, to just have small snacks all during the day. But if you're not going to do that, you have meals. You can have dehydrated meals, carry the water for this, in this example, or you can take this one, right, and have this much water. Okay, 1 1/3 cup, about here. No matter what you do with the dehydrated meal of any kind, you have to carry your water. If you drink too much water and you're too light on the fluids, you can't make your dinner. So it's a kind of cruel-edged sword. One of the things that I would think you should look at is what's wrong with this? You have your water. Yes, is all the moisture in here? Yes, it is. How much does this weigh? I'll let you know as soon as I weigh it all out. But this Mountain House gives you 280 calories per serving, okay? And that's 2 servings per package. Okay, so 280 servings. If you can eat this whole thing, good luck. This, as it sits, is 400 calories. Add this, you just had 600 calories to your meal. Carrying this through the desert, even though it looks like it's heavier, you actually save in amount of water, drinkable water, and you have this. There's a little bit of a savings there. Debate this all you want, but I do this quite a bit up on my mountain. I do it up in the back desert up here. And these foods, carrots, they'll last in your backpack 3 or 4 days. Onions, they'll last 3 or 4 days. How long do you keep them in your dark closet? Green peppers, yeah, 3 days is pushing it. And then if you combine all this up, what you end up doing is you do a single pot gourmet. Okay, what you do is you get a little bit of water, just a little bit, tiny bit on the bottom of the pot. Add your carrots, and you let them boil up. Okay, after it's boiled down for 3 or 4 minutes, you've gone in there. The carrots will soften up a bit. What you want to do is you add your meat. In this case, summer sausage. It could be these meat sticks cut up, chunked up. You add these. The reason why you add the meat first rather than onions or anything is because you want the meat, you want the fats in the meat to boil out. You want it to get out of the sausages. I bring onion powder, salt, paprika, garlic, of course. I bring 2 different kinds of oil, avocado oil and garlic olive oil. Avocado oil has a higher flash point, turns brown at a higher temperature, lasts longer, you can cook more with less, has a little bit more calories in it. Garlic olive oil, well, it has garlic in it, so I use that. Depends on which one I want to use. Did I have to use oil on this one? No, because the sausage had plenty of oil inside itself, and I didn't have to add any. But normally, I'd be using I'd be using one of these spices. I call it my spice rack. And that is a single pot gourmet. What would you prefer if you had the time and the energy? Everybody has their own method on how they're going to keep nutrition up. Most people are going to be using these. Basically a representation of dehydrated meals. Problem with these is they're all dehydrated. They're 2 servings per. I get really tired of saving half of this for another meal or trying to eat all of this in one meal, which is, for me, not very easy. Anyway, so we have the dehydrated meals. Do I use these? I use these all the time. I really do. They're very good. Hugely popular. And I actually buy them by the case. So yes, I do use the dehydrated commercially available meals, but I also do this. I make my own. One of the advantages is all of this is a cup and a half of water that I need. This one, according to directions, is 2 cups. It's a half a cup difference. Does that mean anything? Well, the 16 ounces required here takes this much of your water bottle. This is a 700 milliliter bottle. This is a 1 liter bottle. But it takes this much of your water for your bottle. Yeah, a bottle of water every time you make one of these. This takes a little bit less. I think if I read correctly, it says a cup and a third for this one. Okay, so this one takes this much water. So this works. This is a cup and a half. Difference is you can't mix and match these. I can mix and match peas, corn. I can add tomato to put a tomato base in it. I can add broccoli. I can add green beans. I can have ground beef instead of diced beef. I can add chicken if I want. I can change this around any way I want when I want to cook it, the night I'm wanting to cook it. Okay, so I can cook any portion or any of all of these. I can have apples if I want them. These are freeze-dried. Being freeze-dried, I can eat these like candy. Open the top and just munch on them during the daytime. Same thing with anything freeze-dried I got. These green beans, I actually eat those dry. Corn, I haven't tried that yet. But any of these, I've tried the peas. Works really great. The neat thing about it is, if you work all this up, you got all these, you can run these calories. You can match up enough calories to simulate, you know, this Mountain House. 208 calories per serving, like half of this thing. You can get 280 calories out of here. You got 90 here, you got 110 here, 110 here. So if I got 110 and 90, that's 200. And apple juice, that's 240. And hey, to have dessert for 200, that's 400 calories, 420 calories right there. So yeah, I could have this for dinner. I could change this out for broccoli. This is why I like this system. I like doing it a lot because I can change it around to the way I want it, and it is really versatile. Most of the time, I'm just going to take this and this. I'm going to be dog tired at the end of the day. Open one of these up, and I'm going to make one of these. Just boil some water, throw it in there, and let it sit for 20 minutes. And it's fine. Like I said, I buy them by the case, and I use them quite often. But if you want to set up and start, and you get really bored with this, try some of the other dehydrated style meals. You can get most of this stuff at the larger grocery stores now, at the supermarkets. You can find everybody loses their appetite in the desert due to the heat and the dryness. Your appetite just shuts down. It's really important to keep eating all the time. Even the dreaded Cliff Bar that everybody hates. These are really good. Kind bars. Hey, Three Musketeers works. The ever popular Snickers. Pro Bar. A 1 bar. Open these up and munch on these. You don't have to cook them. The complete cookie, I kind of like these. And the Pro Bar, 20 grams of protein. One thing we kind of forget about, everybody counts calories. We don't remember that we're blowing through protein in huge amounts when we first start out this hike, because we're getting in shape, everybody's getting their trail legs. All the efforts are greater than we're normally used to, and you blow through protein to keep yourself healthy. Make yourself eat some protein bars. Make yourself eat some protein along with the cookies, along with the Snickers, along with the candy bars, the Kind bars, along with the dreaded Cliff Bars. Try something. Okay, small hint for the avocado lovers among us. If you like avocados, but you hate how when you put them in a bag, they get just soft enough to eat and they're really good, they end up getting crushed and smashed. Just a hint. You don't get crushed in a giant Easter egg. Get 2 of those, and you got avocados that don't get crushed.